Today, educators teach in classrooms with a diverse student population. There are several approaches currently used to support all students. One approach that should be utilized when working with English language learners is the asset-based approach. We must focus on our students' strengths and recognize their cultural and linguistic resources as beneficial to their growth, learning, and development. Part of the asset-based approach is having high expectations for all students. Moreover, the asset-based approach recognizes the importance of home and school connections. As an educator, it is important to create and maintain a positive classroom culture and climate. In order to create this safe and welcoming environment, educators should seek to understand cultural differences and acknowledge any biases. Moreover, it is important to be an advocate for all students. Examples provided by Echevarria and Graves include explaining school activities or clubs to students and helping them sign up, or addressing school issues regarding stereotyping or prejudice during class. Through speaking up and advocating for students and families who are culturally and linguistically diverse, teachers can demonstrate compassion, stand for justice, and promote human flourishing. ELL students and their families may be targeted and treated unfairly. They may experience culture shock or feelings of unwelcomeness, or be unaware of school policy or procedures. Suggestions include hosting multicultural events, bringing in a therapist or counselor who specializes in immigration issues, offering books that are written in students' native languages, immediately addressing bullying or harassment of ELL students, hosting and involving all families in events and activities, and sharing information regarding additional programs with families such as after-school activities, special education programs, or gifted and talented programs. It is important to employ intentional strategies for family and community engagement that support and highlight the assets of home language, communication, family involvement, and culture to build family, community, and school partnerships. Learning for Justice suggests providing district-wide language access services. Of course, this is already a legal obligation. However, it creates a welcoming environment. Best practices include identifying major versus low incidence languages in the school district, posting information about interpretation services on campus or on the school website, and preparing to address or host events in multiple languages. Additional strategies include a special back to school night for ELL families, where they are provided the time to meet and converse with teachers, administrators, and support staff. Students and families can also be invited to share their culture with the classroom and other students. Students and families can bring a picture, art, flags, share a story or folk tale from their culture, or share information about important holidays and celebrations. Families and community members can also be invited to volunteer in the classrooms or schools on a regular basis to create trusting relationships. Families and community members can share life or job experiences, read stories, work with small groups, help students with projects, and serve as role models for all students. We want parents and families to see educators as a partner and advocate for their children. An asset-based approach includes taking into consideration language acquisition and key environmental factors to create an inclusive school and classroom environment. Reaching English language proficiency is important. However, prohibiting a student from speaking their native language can be harmful emotionally and academically. In the classroom, teachers can ask their students to translate vocabulary terms or academic language into their native language. Now and then, when appropriate, students can also be asked to provide answers or respond in their native language. Additional strategies to make the classroom more inclusive and culturally responsive include decorating the class to reflect the entire student population, inviting and involving all families, connecting students to their heritage, and having difficult conversations about current events and culture. When students can connect what they know and their experiences to what they are learning, they feel welcomed and are more engaged. Families and community practices of ELL students play a key role in their language learning. Families can help to reinforce what they are learning in and out of the classroom. They are invaluable stakeholders in their child's academic achievement. We should not assume that there is one idea about school and education shared by all families. With respect to their values and culture, we can make suggestions such as setting a time to read with their child, creating a space to study, limit distractions when studying, or utilize school-based technological and translation resources, including bilingual dictionaries if needed. Schools can also be mindful of important culturally relevant dates and holidays to avoid scheduling major assignments or exams. In order to better support our students, it is important to understand their lives outside of school. Ensuring equity for an increasingly diverse student population relies on today's educators and school systems viewing student differences as assets and not deficits.